You know, the response to fast food has just been overwhelming and overwhelmingly positive. And I just want to say thanks for all the incredible emails, letters, notes, private messages, and everything, texts that I've received. It's just so heartwarming to hear how this simple method of preparing food has really impacted so many people's lives from so many areas in so many ways. You know, from kids who now find cooking really easy, to people who are busy and don't have time to cook, to people who are actually like eating this way, not really realizing how healthy it is, but getting into it because it's so quick and easy and delicious. And so the health is the added benefit. But along with all the positive responses, we do get a couple questions or comments or constructive criticisms on how we might improve the program. And so what I want to do today, as part of moving beyond the basics, is address 3 of those, because there are 3 of them that keep coming up all the time. So let's look at those 3. The first one is, hey Jeff, every recipe has tomatoes in it, and I'm either allergic to tomatoes or sensitive to tomatoes, or I don't like tomatoes. So if that's the case, what do I do? Well, you know, that's a great question. And it's true, the basic recipe does use tomatoes as a key ingredient. But we have to realize the tomatoes are just there to provide fluid and or moisture. So I picked tomatoes because it's so easy. You know, it's so easy to get a package of no salt added tomatoes or whole tomatoes or diced tomatoes, and they make a great base. And it helps so we can make the meal without having to add oil or anything to cook all the veggies in. So tomatoes have been a key part. But we don't have to use tomatoes. We have many options. One of those is we can leave the tomatoes out and make dishes without the tomatoes in them. And we're going to do a little of that today. A second option is use other forms of moisture in liquid. And one of the ones we're going to look at is a veggie stock. So I'm going to show you how to make a very simple veggie stock in just minutes that you'll be able to keep around and use in any recipe instead of the tomatoes. In addition, if you don't want to make up a veggie stock, for a lot of the recipes, just plain water works, because while you're cooking up the meal, the water absorbs many of the flavors, and you'll actually begin to form a little base or a broth in the preparation of the meal. So if you just substitute water for the tomatoes and prepare the meal, you'll find that it actually comes out pretty good. Question number 2 is, what about all the other whole grains? You've talked about them, but we didn't see you use them in any of the recipes. Most of the recipes were made with brown rice or potatoes or sweet potatoes. But you talked about other grains like buckwheat and millet and quinoa and barley. And there's literally dozens of them. Well, you know, that's a great point. And you can only do so much in every DVD. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to use all those other grains. So we're going to focus on using buckwheat, we're going to use barley, we're going to use millet, we're going to use quinoa, and we're going to make a variety of dishes from those grains. The third question we always get is, how can you cook this way? How can you not use fresh food? How come you're using all those packaged products? You can't find health in a package.